soul entice you, saying, "Let us go and serve other gods, which you have not known, the gods of the peoples around you. And you shall not listen, and nor shall your eye pity him, nor shall you spare him, nor shall you hide him, but you shall surely kill him. Your hand shall be the first upon him to put him to death, and afterwards the hand of all the people, and you shall stone him with stones, and he shall die, because he sought to draw thee away from the Lord thy God." So, I go to the Happy Minion, and there, David Sachs there is always trying to present the Torah as this loving, kind document.
Right.
This isn't loving and kind. There's love and kindness in the Torah, but it's all the love and kindness is strictly subsumed by the laws. And it's not a document that says just go out and be kind to people.
No, I agree. I mean, this shit should have a disclaimer on it. I mean, when I was growing up, NWA, Niggas with Attitude, with the band, you had to, if we wanted to buy something from them, it always had parental advisory content. They should smack that shit on this.
Right.
And it's not. Again, I'm not making any judgments about the tradition as a whole, but don't piss on my leg and tell me that it's raining.
Right.
Don't point to these verses and tell me, it's so holy.
Love.
Yeah,
love. Just love.
Tikkun olam. That
love.
shit says Tikkun olam.
Yes.
It says it right there. It says, do not pity him. You shall surely kill he who is like your own soul. Tikkun olam. I mean, no, don't I have no problem with the existence of this stuff within the tradition. That is neither good nor bad nor anything. It is a reality. It's just about how are we going to what do we make of it? And what I won't countenance from someone who claims to be teaching me Judaism is that no, it doesn't say that at all. It just says Tikkun olam.
Right.
No, I'm not interested in hearing that because it's just not true. It's your I mean, to me, this makes me think of the Akedah as well. Is that you get in the Torah these they're very clear. If it comes down to a choice between the people who you love and who are like your own soul, and the will of God, or the law, well, you kill that son of a bitch like you don't even know him.
Right. And you should race to make your hand the first to throw the stone.
Yeah. Okay. I mean,
it's not like he who is without sin, let him throw the first stone.
Right. And that you can take that one too far as well. He who is without sin should throw the first stone. But the reality is, if I, as a human being in 2008, Joey Kurtzman, has to pick between the two, boy, I go with the other one. And that doesn't mean I'm going to convert to Christianity, because I don't need to convert to anything.
Right.
But it's this is some brutal stuff. And to me, again, that's not a problem. It's a function of its time. This stuff is Deuteronomy. I think Ezra found it in the temple in 444 BC or something like that. So, the story goes. So I don't. I've got no problem with it. Okay, at that time, this made sense. We are in, we're in BC, people, and life is brutal, and it's even and this is a tough neighborhood, and this is a wartime document in a way, and so I accept that. Okay, but it's no blueprint to me for how to live in 2008 in West Los Angeles. It wouldn't get me very far at all.
So, why don't you read through and tell me the next thing that grabs your attention?
Well, I've got to stick with this one. I mean, because your eye shall not. Let's just read it again. This is talking about someone who is described as like your own soul, a family member, or your wife, or your daughter, or your son, or your brother, and it says if you discover him deviating from the law, your eye shall not take pity on him. You shall not be compassionate nor conceal him. Rather, you shall surely kill him. Your hand shall be first against him to kill him. Okay. To me, this is just a denial of basic human nature. To tell me, first you're trying to persuade me to kill my brother, or my daughter and my son, and then you're telling me not only do you have to kill him, you shall feel no compassion, you shall feel no sympathy, no pity. That's a demand not just about my behavior. That's a demand for an internal brutality that a human being is not capable of feeling, I think, no compassion whatsoever for someone to whom they are that close and that intimate. Even if you hate them on some level and you're gratified by it at some level, you also love them in some way. So it's asking the impossible. I think when I read this, it's asking for us to behave brutally without even feeling as though we're behaving brutally.
Yeah, I think at the beginning of what you're just saying, you said that the Torah asks us to act without humanity, and that was just making me think, you can't intuit Judaism. You can't just intuit.
Right.
You can't just rely on your intuition and say, I'm Jewish, my intuition says X, therefore Judaism says X.
Right.
It's a very complicated, and frequently it goes totally against your own inclinations and intuitions.
Yes, I mean, and that's, yes, and I think that's an important thing to acknowledge, first of all, because, again, also with kind of non-Orthodox interpreters, a lot of times it seems like they'll substitute their intuition for the meaning of the faith, and then just wrap the faith around their intuition. So, yeah, I mean, I think that's an important...
That's one of the things that drives me crazy about non-Orthodox Judaism. Often have some water, you look like you're dying.
I'm not, I feel great.
Okay.
Okay.
They often sit around and everyone gives their thoughts on that week's Torah portion.
Well,
and a lot of the people giving their thoughts are not equipped or qualified to be speaking publicly about their thoughts on that week's Torah portion.
Well, I'm sympathetic to people who speak at great length about things they really know nothing about. I don't know why. They feel like kindred spirits to me. But you're right. I think that what you have to do... It's interesting to hear people's interpretation. Often or sometimes. Occasionally. But there should be a time limit. If someone like me is in there, then someone needs to shut me up after just a couple minutes.
Right.
Because you'll get into a situation where someone just really loves the sound of their own voice and is putting on a show rather than something else. And it's really annoying when you're sitting there trying to learn about something and someone else is performing for you.
Right.
You want to smack them in the head.
Right.
And that's not holy thought. So
right.
That's why those people should be just a few minutes, because to protect the holiness of the rest of us.
Exactly.
Well, here's a question I have.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reference here to Hashem, your God, who takes you out of Egypt from the house of slavery. I know that Sharon Brous, who is the spiritual leader of Ikar.
Spiritual leader.
Well, I don't know. The rabbi. The rabbi. Well, she is also the spiritual leader of Ikar.
I know, but it's just... This is not a spiritual book.
Right. Well, what she had said, and I think she says some very compelling things. One of them is that Egypt, Mitzrayim, she interprets as not just the physical place Mitzrayim, but the word, I guess, the shoresh in Hebrew for Mitzrayim is, I guess, I assume Mem Tzadik Reish, but it means narrowness, or maybe Mem Tzadik Mem, I don't know. But and so that it's Hashem who takes you out of Egypt. It's Hashem who liberates you from slavery to a kind of narrow, limited, provincial view of the world, or something like that.
Everything I'm reading here strikes me as pretty narrow, limited, and provincial.
Yes.
So what you're saying is that she encourages people to leave the what we're studying.
Well, maybe so. I mean, I don't know enough to know whether that's... Again, if my view on that stuff is always, if someone says this is what it is, this is what it means, then I take it with a grain of salt. But if, I don't know, maybe she can point to particular... I don't know, for all I know, both Rambam and Rashi said, yep, Mitzrayim just means narrow, limited, and provincial, and you should be pro-choice, and that's it.
This whole book strikes me as really narrow, limited, and provincial.
Well, you here you are a practitioner of Orthodox Judaism, one of the most pious practitioners of Orthodox Judaism whom I've encountered. So clearly there is an appeal, there is an attraction, and you are whether you're comfortable with this characterization or not, you seem to be an ethically minded person. So So I guess the question is, how does someone like you, who